Let's take a look at my favorite keyboard shortcuts in Adobe Lightroom and how they can really speed up your workflow when you're working on your photographs. Now, it should be said before we start that I'm not going to go over every keyboard shortcut. I'm simply going to talk about my 5 or 10 favorite ones and the ones that I use the most. If you're looking for a list of all the keyboard shortcuts, you can find one in the Help menu in Lightroom. So let's dive in here. The first one I want to say is kind of a pair of keyboard shortcuts. I hit one and then I hit the other quite often in my workflow, and that is the letter G for Grid and the letter D for Develop. So here I am in the Library module, and I may want to take an image and bring it in to edit it. And what I can do very quickly and easily is select the images that I'm interested in, hit the letter D, and that takes me right into the Develop module. There's no need to mouse up to the module picker, click on Develop. It's a very, very quick, simple thing to just hit D. Now, alternatively, if I want to go the other direction, I'm finished editing a photograph and I'd like to go back to the Library module, I can hit the letter G, G for Grid, and that will take me to the grid view in the Library module. So those are really, really nice for playing back and forth. Now, a couple other little ones. The letter T, as in toolbar. There's a toolbar at the bottom of the screen. Here we can see it underneath the grid of images. In the Develop module, we can see it underneath the big photograph. The toolbar sometimes holds some very useful information, and it will sometimes hide itself on you because you hit the letter T inadvertently. So it's a good one to learn that hitting T will toggle on and off that toolbar at the bottom of the screen. So T is for toolbar, and that works in the Library module or the Develop module. Now, a couple more. In both modules, it's sometimes very helpful to hide away all of the panels in Lightroom. And we can do that very simply by hitting the Tab key, T-A-B, the Tab key on the keyboard. It's on the left-hand side. If we hit Tab, that will hide away our left and right-hand panels. And if we hit Tab again, it will bring them back. Now that handles left and right. If we want to hide away all of our panels, we can hold down Shift, and while holding down Shift, hit Tab. And that will hide all the panels. We Shift Tab again, and that will bring them all back. And again, that's the same in the Library module, Develop module, or any of the other modules in Lightroom. So a very useful time for this is, say I'm editing a photograph in the Develop module, and I think I've got it about where I want it, but I want to see it larger. I will very quickly hold Shift, hit Tab, look at the big preview of the photo, and then Shift Tab again to bring it back down. Now, that brings me to another shortcut. When I'm editing in the Develop module, it's sometimes very useful to see a before and an after view of your photograph. And there's actually two ways to do this. The first is we can hit the letter Y on the keyboard. And if I hit Y, we can see right now it put us in a before-after. So we have the before on the left, the after on the right. But when you do this, especially if you're editing on a tiny laptop screen, it's very hard to see the two images in much detail. So usually when I hit Y, I will accompany it by hitting Shift Tab on the keyboard to make those images as large as possible. Again, Shift Tab again, and Y again will take us back to normal. Now the other way we can look at a before-after is actually with the backslash key on the keyboard. So there are two slashes. There's a forward slash and a backslash. The backslash is the one located right underneath the backspace key on the keyboard. And if you hit backslash, it will toggle you to a before view, and then you hit it again and it will toggle you to an after view. So there's no side-by-side comparison, but the actual image that you're seeing will change to the before view or change to the after view. And we can see that happening right now when I toggle that backslash key. Now, on the topic of the backslash key, another very useful shortcut to know about. Now this isn't one that you're going to use unless you use it without meaning to. In the grid view, in the Library module, at the top there's a thing called the Library filter. It's located right above the grid of images. The backslash key will actually hide or show that Library filter. And that can be very frustrating because a lot of times you're going to want to use it to search through your images or to look for images with a certain attribute like a red color label or something like that. And if you have hit the backslash key in the past, it will be hidden from you. So you can simply hit backslash and that will bring it back. Now, those are my main keyboard shortcuts. There are many, many others, but those are the ones that I use multiple times when I'm editing photographs, all the time. They're super, super important to get used to. Now, there are some other keyboard shortcuts that I do use commonly, but not as common as these. And if you guys are interested in looking at those, I've actually made a printable PDF with all of the shortcuts I just talked about, as well as some more that I use commonly. And there's a link to that in the video description. So if you're watching this on Facebook, you'll have to go to YouTube to see the description. But either way, go over to YouTube. In the description, there's a link and it'll take you to our website. And there you can go ahead and download a PDF that you can print out, put on your wall. And it's got these shortcuts and a whole lot more that I commonly use in Lightroom. So hopefully this will help speed up your workflow. I think keyboard shortcuts are overused by a lot of people. These are really the core ones. These are the ones that I'm using, again, like I said, multiple times a day when I'm editing my photographs.